What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so before I get into this video, I want to give a shout out to the brother Aram for once again showing love with the channel with a donation. And he has a question. And the question is a basketball chat group I'm in, and which I'll probably leave, are explaining why Joel Embiid is better than Wilt Chamberlain, making a reference that Wilt played against plumbers and firefighters. Of course. As we all know, Wilt played against Kareem, Russell, Cowens, Thurman, Hayes, Willis, Unseld, Bellamy, Connie Hawkins, Spencer Haywood, all Hall of Famers. Who has Embiid played? Love to hear your take, bro. Yeah, one of the things I'm starting to find with a lot of these basketball chat discussion groups, a lot of them on Facebook, is that people are now eschewing talking about real, genuine basketball like conversations. It used to be the people who talked basketball like 15, 20 years ago on those forums. First of all, they used to be policed by those who took these topics seriously, and they would kick out trolls. Now you have trolls creating these pages, and oftentimes all these chat groups, and their primary focus is to create rage bait, because people tend to respond to the ridiculous, or to bold, oftentimes inanely stupid takes get a strong reaction out of people, and they know that. So that's that thing. Okay, so about Joel Embiid, right? I guess people who, and I'm pretty sure that these fans that think that somehow he's better than Wilt are young. They probably look at the fact that his game is modern and they can relate to that. And the game has evolved since the time of Wilt Chamberlain. So therefore, these changes to them automatically means that somehow Joel Embiid is better. Like, in their primitive minds, they think that if you just take Joel Embiid and put him in the 60s and 70s, he's going to somehow be better than Wilt. Okay? When in reality, there was no three-point line. The game was officiated differently, which is a key component here. The game was different then, a lot different. And the things that make Joel Embiid, that makes him a stronger player in this era compared to other big men, would not be such great strengths. Like, back in those days, centers were primarily expected to rim protect, block shots, rebound, box out, if I haven't said it already, box out, rebound, rim protect, and primarily play and score in the post. And your best centers had, at the very least, probably 4 post moves, 3 to 4, at the very least, preferably 5. And, you look at a guy like Willis Reed, right, who recently had been, and I'm glad that you got these channels like Wilt Chamberlain Archive and some of these other channels out here. I think it's what the other one was, FIBA Sports, whatever it's called. They were showing this highlight reel of Willis Reed, man. And Willis Reed was a very skilled center, man. But I'm going to kind of ramble a little bit here, but let's just look at the facts here. Number one, despite all of these advances that are in place today for players, right? Joel Embiid doesn't even show the dedication to the game that Wilt Chamberlain had. I mean, Wilt Chamberlain, generally speaking, outside of that injury year that he had, 1969, 1970, basically played every game. Okay. Joel Embiid, I don't think he's ever played more than 70 games in a season, maybe 70, 74 tops. Other than that, he's generally missing 20 to 40, maybe even more when you look at his career. He's completely inconsistent when it comes to availability. He's not in the best shape. And the fact that he's not in the best shape because he can't control his diet often leads to the breakdowns come later into the season, as opposed to Wilt Chamberlain, who didn't really show any signs of even body fat, visible body fat, until the Laker years when he was well into his 30s. And he still was only 305, 306, maybe at the heaviest 320. You know what I'm saying? But he was mostly muscle, right? And yes, as far as scoring wise, Wilt changed his game. Wilt became more of an all-around player with the Philadelphia 76ers after being a primary scorer all those years with the Warriors. And by the Laker years, he was playing like Bill Russell, or trying to play a style like Bill Russell, rebounder, shot blocker, and defender, right? But if it had not been for the changes, Wilt probably would have averaged around 33, 34 points per game for his career, because he was already averaging 36 points per game or so when he decided to change his game for the betterment of the team when he got traded to the Sixers, because he actually had talent around him. And he knew that, you know, as far as the fluidity of the team, they needed him to shoot the ball less, pass more, which is another aspect of his game that's underrated. Because I think if you're talking about passing the ball, facilitating, Wilt gets the nod over Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid gets the nod as far as shooting. Okay, mid-range, outside, free throw percentage, obviously, right? Post-play, Wilt Chamberlain, in my opinion. I don't think it's even a debate. Scoring prowess, yes, Joel Embiid can score. Yes, he scored 70 points in the game. But Wilt Chamberlain is, by definition, by all accounts, peak for peak, the greatest scorer the game has ever seen. Rebounding's not even close. Okay? When you look at resume, Joel Embiid has that one MVP award, which basically he begged for the entire fucking season, whereas Wilt Chamberlain has 4 MVPs, 3 in a row, if I'm not mistaken, right? One of the few players to win 3 MVPs in a row. 2 NBA championships. 1 with the Philadelphia 76ers, which Joel Embiid hasn't even been able to get out the second round in his NBA career. So to say that he's better than Wilt Chamberlain is absurd. How do you even come to that conclusion? How? And then this thing about Wilt not having any competition at the center position, I mean, that's just insane. That's how you know these guys really don't know basketball. They don't do any research. They just regurgitate what they want to hear. And they're blissfully ignorant. How can you even say that with a straight face? They really think that the only player that Wilt played against was Bill Russell. The man played against Bill Russell. The man played against Willis Reed, Walt Bellamy, Zelmo Beatty. Okay, the man played against who else? Wes Unseld. He played against Bill Lambier. I mean, not Bill Lambier, excuse me. Bob Lanier. He played against uh, Elvin Hayes. He played against Dave Cowens, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You know what I'm saying? Sam Lacey. Johnny Red Kerr. Nate Thurman. Right? I can name 8 to 9 Hall of Fame centers that he played against in his era when there was only at most 17 teams when he retired. 8 to 17 teams. That means that at the very least, every other night, Wilt Chamberlain's playing against a Hall of Famer. Who the fuck is Joel Embiid playing against other than Joker? Who, by the way, he ducks every fucking day, every fucking year when they're in Denver. When last time he played in Denver? Is this serious? When you got James Harden no longer speak to your ass, James Harden, because you lack professionalism. When you make Ben Simmons look like a professional. Are we talking about the same Joel Embiid that's constantly late? Had to be called out by Tyrese Maxey for being late to fucking team meetings, late to the bus to get to games, late to games, barely arriving on time. Get into fight with reporters because, you know what I'm saying, now the reporter did say some stupid shit. But, you know what I'm saying, nah, man. I don't think the city respect what I do. I do what I do, and the city don't show respect to. Shut up, crybaby ass. Deal with the racism Wilt Chamberlain had to deal with. Deal with the racism that Bill Russell had to deal with. And going out there playing 45 minutes a night. These guys can't even play 30 minutes a night. Just clown up out of here.